Good. What is this? Tuesday morning, YouTube. This is day 1 of week 13. So I have absolutely no numbers for this week. Well, I got one for the trip I might be taking this morning. I'm waiting for them to get here. So it's supposed to be an 8 o'clock pickup. I figure I'll check in, get ready. And there's nobody, well, there's people here, but this coronavirus stuff is like driving people into madness, and they won't let you into buildings and stuff like that. And there's a sign on the door that says call this number, and I assume that shipping doesn't get there till 8 o'clock. So whatever, I'll wait. No big deal. As long as it doesn't throw me off for my next 3 loads. I've only booked myself 3 out. One for today, Tuesday, one for Wednesday, and then a double for Thursday. That one of the Thursdays picks up Wednesday evening and goes into Thursday. And then where I'm dropping in Seymour, I'm leaving and going an hour away, picking up load and bringing it right back to the same location I'm dropping at. So not bad. So far, so good. Hopefully I won't have to cancel all those. I mean, I had a rough week 2 weeks ago. My third load canceled, or second load canceled, whatever it was, and screwed everything up. But that's all water under the bridge. It is what it is, and this coronavirus is going to screw a lot of things up. I'm strategically parked where I can see the whole parking lot of these employees. Nobody's coming or going. Anyway, so weeks, where are we at? 11 and 12 of 2020. Coronavirus weeks, no doubt. There's a lot of people having problems. Let me get down to brass tacks first, and then talk about other junk, because my rant will last way too long. So if you're just here for numbers, I'll spew those out, and then you can get off and do what you got to do. Anyway, weeks 11 and 12. This is a prime example of hustling and driving a lot of miles, and hustling and driving a little bit of miles, and putting less wear and tear on the engine, and using less fuel, etc., etc. So less miles means you have more for the long run, if you're planning on keeping the truck. I mean, if you don't, drive as fast as you want, as far as you want. I mean, whatever. Anyway, so week 11 was 40, 46, 28 on 2,870 miles for $1.41 a mile. And week 12 was 40, 37, 14 on 2,106 miles for $1.92 a mile. So week 11 was 51 cents less per mile than week 12, and grossed $9 more. $9.14 more to be exact, right? So, I spent $910 in fuel on week 11, only $507 on week 12, although I could have done another, I got about half a tank, so I could have done another $150 to $200. But week 12 has $259 in tolls taken out. So my expenses were 92 cents a mile on week 12 and 73 cents a mile on week 11. And part of that is because, like I said, the more miles you drive, the less your expenses are, because other than your fuel going up, your expenses are covered up over a longer range. Profit per mile was only 68 cents per mile on 11 and $1 per mile on 12. Now, for the quarter, if it stays where it's at, my average is going to be 190. I'm still shooting for 180 gross. That's gross. But I'm thinking it's going to be 190. What are you doing? Some guy just pulled up, and I don't know, he was lifting his hands and stuff. Or one of his hands. Yeah, I'm out here. Somebody answered the phone. Anyway, my quarter's looking like I'll make 190. I'm still going to shoot for 180. And I know that's not, for my first year, I mean, it's not bad, but this whole coronavirus is screwing things up. My average has been, it was now last week, I didn't tell y'all the numbers last week. I know I've been slacking and posting videos every 2 weeks on the numbers, but last week my numbers went down to like $1.65 or $1.64 per mile. This week brought it up, or last week 12 brought it up back up to $1.67 per mile average on that for 90 cents a mile in expenses average, 77 cents a mile average in profit, which ain't bad, you know, whatever. My average is 339 miles a day now. So that would mean I'm going to make 104,000 miles per year. And to me, that's a lot better than the 115 to 120 I was projecting, because I don't really want to do, you know, the lease says you can do 150. I don't want to do anywhere near that. I have no point in doing anywhere near that. I could if I really wanted to, but then, you know, road wariness when you drive a lot is not something that I want to have. So there's a lot of people complaining, you know, at the water places and like Church and Dwight, oh my God, who are the Nestle water, all kinds of water places and cleaning supply places are getting partial loads. And, you know, I mean, they're not really complaining about the weight and stuff, but they are complaining about the wait time. Weight as in pounds. Wait time as in how long it's taking to get to the door, get loaded, etc. Whether or not the load is ready, they're having issues with that. And it's not just contract freight. The spot market, from what I've seen, is having a few issues. I don't know. It's a big cluster, and it's so much fun. Although traffic is better, there's still too many idiots out there driving around that don't seem to understand that, you know, this could be worse. I mean, look at Chicago and New York and Maine. I've been watching the president's posts, and a lot of repetitiveness in his daily 5:30, which ends up being like 6:30 conferences, because for some reason they don't, you know, if you're going to have a conference at 6:30, make the president think it's for 5:30. That way they can take an hour jerking off, doing whatever they're doing in the back, jerking around, and then come out. You know, I mean, what? Seriously? Companies don't run like that. Why are you going to run a presidency like that? Anyway, I don't know if he's doing a astronomical job or not as far as this virus is concerned, because we have nothing to compare it to. So people sitting there saying, well, you're doing a horrible job. How do you know? How do you know he's doing a horrible job? Because you've never been in a situation before. None of us have. There hasn't been some supposed invisible enemy, and so he calls it. It's not invisible. You just got to have a microscope to see it. Yeah, so how's it invisible? Anyway, so some people are, there's all kinds of crap on Facebook. So stop reading the crap. Seriously, guys, stop spewing the fear mongering that CNN and Fox News and all these other people are spewing out, and go look at the facts yourself on the COVID websites. On your state website, you can find a count of the counties that have it. There's all kinds of resources out there. You just need to look. Quit being lazy and paying attention to stupidity, and be proactive and look up the information. Seriously. I mean, and then correct people that say stupid crap. All right. I don't say much on the stupid crap, because I just get, every time I want to say something, and then I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to bite my tongue and shut up, because you can argue till you're blue in the face with a brick wall. You can't cure stupidity. You can cure ignorance. Now, if it's somebody that doesn't know, then maybe you can show them the way. I mean, they might not be in your state. Tell them, hey, you want to know about your state? Look up here. You want to know about the country? Look up here. Now, you can go to the CDC and look up. Their site doesn't update as rapidly, though. So I went to the CDC website, and there's a section in there where it says, it's got like a map of the states, and then below it, it says states, and there's a plus sign. You hit that plus sign because their little thing, it shows Like it showed Georgia at 477 for 2 days, when Georgia was already, the second day it was pushing 700 something, right? So you click on, there's a little link, like if you open up the state box, there's a little bar underneath says more information, and you click on that, whatever state you're interested in, and you can go to that state site. Although to find, Georgia has a really good map of counties right there directly on their site, and it's easy to access. These other states, like I've looked up Illinois and Indiana and Ohio, and there's other states where their Department of Health Services does not have a really good county map, or it does, it's just hard to find. So I had to start Googling. What I would do is I would Google, like, say, Indiana. I'd say Indiana county state map coronavirus, something like that. And it came up with a link area to get to the actual map that shows you how many cases are in each county. So not that that's going to help you avoid getting the disease or the virus, but you know, it'll help you know if where you're going has a bunch of them, which you can take even more precautions as to whether or not you're going to get out of your truck. I think I got one of them fake owls up there. So that's about it. As far as, I mean, there's tons of other stuff for Corona and all that nonsense, but you know, it is what it is. We're either going to get it or we're not. Pray that you don't. Some of the things I've seen that people have posted that have gotten it, it ain't something you want to get. It ain't something you want to partially get. I mean, if you're a healthy person and things don't affect you that much, then you should be okay, you would think. But one of the things I watched was a guy that was like a runner and exerciser and super healthy and so on. He got it from a transmission when he brought his wife flowers at the hospital, and it put him down and he almost died. But you know, there's all kinds of stories out there, and there's success stories out there. I mean, people are surviving it, and yeah, it has less of a percentage rate than the flu, but this thing is apparently a lot more painful than the flu. But you know, it is what it is. Just be careful and take care and wash your hands and use hand sanitizer if you can find it, and get water. Stay hydrated. Supposedly, you drink water every 15 seconds and it has less of a chance of getting in your lungs. I don't quite understand that, unless, you know, because that tells me it's like an airborne, right? It's not necessarily, why would they tell you that unless it is an airborne? When you're in a room with a bunch of people and they're breathing out and you're breathing in their air, if you drink right after you breathe in their air. But see, I don't understand the wash it down, because if you're breathing in it through your nose, there's going to be particles in your nose. And of course, I'm not a scientist or a doctor, so I don't know all this. Your nose is a filtration system, and that's why you breathe through your nose more than your mouth, and it keeps dirt out of your but you know, if you're in a room with a bunch of people and it is airborne, it's going to come in through your nostrils, not necessarily through your mouth. And you'd have to like use saline stuff up your nose or something. I wonder if that would help too. I did say like gargle with warm salt water and stuff like that. But, you know, I don't know. One of the things I heard was do not take Advil. You can take Tylenol and Motrin, but you can't take Advil or something like that, because Advil enhances it. I don't know all the medical stuff on it. There's all kinds of different things popping up, and half of them you got to take with a grain of salt, because most of them are Facebook warriors or Facebook doctors, Facebook lawyers, Facebook medical personnel. Like I said, get your information from reliable sources. Facebook is not a reliable source, unless that person you're speaking with is someone you physically, personally know and is an actual scientist or doctor or whatever that knows what they're talking about, right? So anyway, y'all be safe. Y'all have a blessed day.